In the 1930s, New York City was a place full of incredible stories, many of them shaped by the Great Depression. The economy was collapsing, and the struggle for survival was real for many. Among these survivors was Michael Malloy, a former Irish firefighter who now wandered aimlessly through the streets of the Bronx. Malloy, homeless and alcoholic, was known for his unwavering resistance to alcohol, a trait that would make him a legendary figure. It was a cold winter night when Malloy, seeking warmth and perhaps a glass of alcohol to ward off the cold, walked into a bar in the Bronx. The bar was owned by Tony Marino, a cunning man with an eye for financial opportunities, even if they were illegal. Regulars at the bar, including Francis Pasqua, a mortician, Daniel Kreisberg, a baker, and Joseph Murphy, a bartender, were conspiring with Marino. They had a sinister plan: take out life insurance in Michael Malloy's name and then kill him to collect the insurance money. The plan seemed simple, and given Malloy's poor health, they believed it would be an easy task. Malloy was a man worn out by life. His clothes were in tatters, his face was marked by age and alcohol, and his voice was hoarse. He was a lonely man with no family to worry about his whereabouts. These characteristics made Malloy the perfect target for Marino and his accomplices' macabre plan. "He's the perfect target," Pasqua said, watching Malloy drink his first glass. "No one will miss him." Marino and the other men began discussing the details of the plan. Pasqua, as funeral director, would handle the insurance paperwork. Kreisberg would provide the poisoned drink, and Murphy, as bartender, would ensure that Malloy consumed the poison. "Let's start with something simple," suggested Marino. "Let's see how much he can take." Tony Marino, the bar owner, led the group of conspirators. They planned to make Malloy drink himself to death by offering him an endless tab at the bar, allowing him to drink as much as he wanted. Marino believed that Malloy, with his history of alcoholism, would succumb quickly. "Don't worry, Mike," said Marino with a hidden smile. "Today is on me. Drink as much as you want." Malloy gladly accepted the generous offer, suspecting nothing. However, to everyone's surprise, Malloy seemed unfazed. Nights in a row, he drank impressive amounts of alcohol without showing signs of weakness. When it became clear that Malloy would not die from alcohol poisoning, the group decided to intensify their efforts. The conspirators began adding antifreeze to Malloy's drinks, believing it would quickly kill him. Antifreeze contains ethylene glycol, a highly toxic substance that, if ingested in large quantities, can cause kidney failure and death. However, Malloy continued to drink, complaining only about the strange taste, but surviving each attempt. When antifreeze failed, they tried using turpentine, a solvent derived from pine resin that is toxic if ingested. Then they used ground horse chips, which is actually zinc phosphide, a rat poison, and finally rodenticide mixed in with the drink. Incredibly, Malloy survived all of these attempts. "That man must have an iron stomach," muttered Kreisberg, incredulous at Malloy's resistance. "Desperate the xp ibonetin di santri yt idisat konar spape tori mastatai a seida to mind to tide a manaides yarn method." They served Malloy raw oysters soaked in methyl alcohol, a deadly combination. Methyl alcohol, or methanol, is extremely toxic and can cause blindness and death. Malloy ate the oysters with gusto and even asked for more. Malloy's ability to survive so many assassination attempts began to seem supernatural. The conspirators began to question whether Malloy was truly human. He seemed to have superhuman stamina. Each new attempt to kill him was met with a new, unbelievable story of his survival. Frustration and fear began to set in among the group, but they were determined to see their plan through to the end. Frustrated and increasingly desperate, the group decided to expose Malloy to the extreme cold. On a particularly cold night, they waited for Malloy to drink until he passed out. Then they took him to a park, dumped him in the snow, and poured ice water over his body. They believed he would die of hypothermia. "Leave him outside, and let's see if he can survive this," said Marino, full of frustration. To their surprise, Malloy showed up at the bar the next day with no sign of discomfort, ordering another drink. "How do you survive all this?" one of the conspirators asked Malloy in disbelief. Malloy just laughed and ordered another round, not knowing how desperate his friends were to end his life. Determined to finally end Malloy's life, the group decided to run him over with a taxi. They hired a driver to carry out the plan. The driver, Harry Green, was paid to run over Malloy and make sure he didn't survive. One night, Green accelerated his car and hit Malloy, leaving him on the street, and the conspirators believed they had finally succeeded. "This has to work," said Pasqua, trying to convince himself. However, a few days later, Malloy reappeared at the bar with some injuries, but alive. "This man is indestructible," Murphy exclaimed in total disbelief. Malloy's persistence and incredible resistance were beginning to cause despair and fear in the conspirators. They then decided to asphyxiate him. In February 1933, after another night of drinking, they took Malloy to Marino's room, put a gas hose in his mouth, and turned on the gas. Finally, Malloy couldn't resist and died. The conspirators thought they had succeeded, but Malloy's death raised suspicions. The police began to investigate, and the various life insurance policies raised even more suspicion. The autopsy revealed gas poisoning and multiple previous assassination attempts. Tony Marino, Francis Pasqua, Daniel Kreisberg, and Joseph Murphy were arrested and tried for the murder of Michael Malloy. During the trial, the gruesome details of the various assassination attempts were revealed, shocking the public. The sensationalist press of the time explored every detail, making the case a national sensation. Newspapers called Malloy Mike the Durable and Iron Man due to his ability to survive so many assassination attempts. In 1934, they were all convicted and sentenced to death in the electric chair. The story of Michael Malloy, the man who seemed unkillable, has become an urban legend, symbolizing the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. "He survived everything except the greed of men," commented one of the jurors after the sentence. Michael Malloy, a homeless and alcoholic man, became a legendary figure in New York's criminal history. His incredible resilience and the story of countless failed assassination attempts captured the imagination of the public and the media. Newspapers at the time nicknamed Malloy Mike the Durable and Iron Man due to his ability to survive so many assassination attempts. His story has been told and retold, becoming a classic example of an unbelievable but true story. Malloy's life also caught the attention of psychologists and scientists who were intrigued by his extraordinary resilience. Some scholars have suggested that Malloy may have had a rare genetic condition that gave him an exceptional tolerance to alcohol and poisons, while others believed it was simply a matter of luck and endurance. Michael Malloy's story is a testament to the unpredictability of life and human resilience. Although his life was marked by poverty and addiction, the way he faced and survived so much adversity is impressive. Malloy had no idea that his simple, everyday actions of drinking at a bar would make him a legend. Malloy's story also serves as a grim reminder of the depths to which some can sink out of greed. The conspirators were so consumed with the desire for easy money that they completely dehumanized Malloy, seeing him as just a means to an end. However, his own ineptitude and Malloy's unusual resistance ended up being his undoing. This story is based on real events. Although some dialogue and scenes may have been dramatized for narrative effect, the central events are true and were documented in historical records and newspaper articles of the time. Michael Malloy, a man who seemed unkillable, remains a fascinating figure in criminal history. His resilience and series of failed assassination attempts made him a legend, reminding us of the astonishing strength of the human spirit and the cruel ironies of life. If you like this story, subscribe to the channel. We always have incredible stories from real people to share with you. To the next.